live first. I have to wait for this shit. I'm sorry, we're not going live yet. I'm waiting for shit to load. We're almost there. I believe we're there. Are we good?
Live first. I have to wait for.
Oh, I've got to mute that.
This shit.
Nope. Oh, we were live originally. So wait, nope. Now another window's opening. I'm going to mute that. Hello, DJ. Welcome to Degenerate Takes and probably the worst opening in podcast history. Shout out to technology being confusing as hell. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm the brofict one, AJ. And with me, as always, is the man with the numbers. He is the sportsbook whisperer. He is the college basketball guru, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell are you doing today after what was an absolutely epic weekend of sports?
Yeah, I'm great. It was a great weekend with the Masters. Scotty Scheffler winning that one. Woo! You know, he was one of the golfers I had. And then got to treat myself to a little wild game yesterday. So that was a good a little nervous when we were down 3-0 like 10 minutes into the game. 3 goals in the first 5 shots, but came back and won 6-3. So it was a great game.
Hey, great game by the Wild. Got to watch a little bit of that. Was looking for you in the crowd, but didn't see some random 7-footer standing in the crowd. So I don't know where you were sitting, but it was not anywhere near the camera. But bro, I mean, you mentioned it, Scotty Scheffler. Like, I mean, this man, like don't get me wrong, I have not watched a lot of golf in my day. I've really just started watching it in the last 2 years, but watching him swing a club, watching him make those putts, those chips. I mean, bro, I do not think since watching Tiger play, that last Masters he won, that I have seen someone just play so dominant on that course. And Augusta, as we both know, and we've talked about, such a challenging course, such a difficult course, a course where it requires a lot of finesse. And that was the big key we were talking about. Bro, this guy could have finessed water from Poseidon. Like, this motherfucker could have, I swear to God, he could make any shot in the world right now. Some overreactions are saying he's going to Grand Slam this year, which, I mean, if we're talking about it, overreacting, I love it. I'm about it. But no, I guess let's get your initial thoughts on Scotty winning and then what you think he's going to do. And then we'll talk about the rest of the Masters in the field a little bit.
I mean, he's just playing incredible golf.
Bro,
since the season started, he's played now in 6 tournaments, won 4 of them. I mean, that's hard. It's hard enough to win any given weekend, but to win 4 out of 6, and he shot under par every single day there at Augusta. Almost didn't with his 4-putt on 18.
That was funny as hell.
But when you got a 6-stroke lead going into the last hole of a tournament, you can kind of you can afford to do that.
Yeah.
But he's just playing incredible golf. So I mean, if he keeps playing the way he is, I don't know why you wouldn't just bet on him to win every tournament he plays in. Obviously, he was like, what was he, like plus 1,400 or something? He wasn't even the favorite somehow.
No, and you were still getting great odds on him, even though he's been playing an excellent. He won 3 tournaments before this, and then walked in and did this. I mean, he's been playing unreal golf, and you still got him at a great price. Now you look at the top 10s, top 5s. You're going to start seeing a little bit more of a discount and everything because of how he's been playing. But you're still getting him at a better price than like John Rahm and some of those guys.
Yeah, I think Rahm was the betting favorite coming into this one. Obviously, he didn't do too well.
Shat the bed. Almost as bad as Tiger.
Barely made the cut. Rahm had a good Sunday, though. But, yeah, I mean, Scheffler, even top 10, he was plus 150. So you still have plus odds at him at top 10. And,
That will obviously, I think that will obviously change. Now, let me get your thoughts on this. I think that his odds from here on out, regardless of how he plays in the next upcoming tournaments, they are going to be either minus money or you're going to be like for top 10s, top 5s, you're going to be looking at minus money. wow, for a tournament to win the tournament, you're going to be looking at plus money, but you're looking at plus 700-800 instead of this plus 1,400 like we saw with the Masters.
Yeah, and I gotta say, AJ, I may have. I know I was texting you about it because after the second day, Scheffler had a 3-stroke lead, was still plus money. He was plus 100. May have thrown a 25 unit bet on that responsibly.
25 units?
Yes.
Holy shit, bro.
I can confirm
responsibly, of course. Responsibly.
I can confirm it's the largest wager that I've placed in my lifetime. And
wow.
It hit.
Yeah,
so
obviously it hit. So congrats on that.
Was not worried for a moment. Actually, I was getting a little nervous after the first 2 holes. Okay. After that lead got down to just 1 stroke, but that, he quickly gained it back and, just breezed to the finish. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, and like I said earlier, just played incredible golf and everything. Let's spend another second on the Masters. Let's talk about the field for a little bit. Obviously everyone was watching. I had his group on my phone whenever he was walking the course. Tiger Woods not putting up his best numbers at the Masters, but still a more than commendable how do I honest to God, almost amazing what he was able to do on one of the hardest courses in America. And after everything he's been through now, we can get into his past and everything, but just talking from an athlete standpoint, because we're a sports show, we don't get into the other bullshit. Getting that injury and that car crash and everything, being able to come back, walk all of Augusta, play all 4 days and everything, make the cut. I mean, did not play his best golf by any means necessary, but still, shout out to Tiger Woods for coming back. I mean, if this is his starting point from this injury, I mean, he's going to win another Masters. He's going to win another major within the next 2 years. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take at least a couple of weeks off after this, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible feat, just the fact that he was able to play all 4 days, and he looked good on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
did not play very well Saturday and Sunday.
No, the weekend was not kind to him.
But you got to wonder how much that leg was probably bothering him increasingly more every single day. So that could have affected his shot a little bit. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to speculate on that. But I do anticipate he'll probably take some time off, a couple weeks, maybe even a month or 2 before playing in another tournament.
And so I was sorry, go ahead, finish.
And yeah, I just think he'll, use some of that time to get some rehab in, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play again until, the next major.
So, and that's something I was talking about with a buddy of mine who's I'm a pro wrestler. For those of you in the Degenerate universe that don't know, I've been involved in pro wrestling for the last 6 years. And so I've been watching WWE and stuff. And there was a couple years back, Brock Lesnar, the literal man beast that walks this fucking earth that can rip anybody's head off in a given moment. Shout out to him. But he did this stint where he was WWE champion. He would literally only show up the month of their biggest pay-per-views. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tiger takes that approach. He has the tenure, he has the skill set, he has the ability to still go out and compete. I wouldn't be surprised if we only see him show up in majors and tournaments that actually matter. So the next one's the Players, right?
I believe so.
I wouldn't, honest to God, I think that's the next time we see Tiger is the Players. Unless he wants to go visit Hawaii or something. There's a tournament in Hawaii, But I think Tiger's in a spot now where he can kind of pick and choose his spots. He's made enough money over his lifetime. I don't see him going out there and embarrassing himself like he did this weekend on some no-name tour,
Yeah, next one's the PGA Championship, 3rd week of May.
Okay.
So, that gives him, I bet we'll see
third
him
week
at the PGA Championship. Yep. Probably not before then. My guess is he takes those 5 weeks to rehab before that one.
No, 100%. And honestly, that's the move. I mean, you're an athlete of his skill set and everything. We saw how he played the first 2 days. If he can play he just needs to string 2 more of those together, and he's got another major under his belt. And at this point, if you're Tiger, why the fuck would you care about winning one of these smaller tournaments, bro? Just go head hunting. Just go head hunting, bro. Just go win a couple majors, a couple more majors, solidify your return and everything. Like, he's already one of the greatest golfers to ever live. He has nothing left to prove, but he's just so competitive. He wants to keep it going. Noah, but speaking of competitiveness, we got probably the most exciting basketball of the year so far coming up, talking professionally, of course. The NBA play-in tournament starting tomorrow, Tuesday, what day is today? The 11th? Yeah, the 12th. Sorry, I thought today was the 14th for some reason. Don't even get me started on that. No, it's been a fucking day.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself there.
There's a lot going on. D-Gens, we got shit. We're working on some shit. All right, D-Gens, we're working on some shit. A lot to be announced in the next coming weeks. But until then, the play-in tournament, starting with one of the more rough matchups that you're going to see, I believe. Cleveland Cavaliers going in against the Brooklyn Nets to start it off. The line is at 8.5 right now, Noah. Brooklyn is the favorite. I mean, I'm going to say this about this line, and I'm going to say this about the rest of the play-in lines. I hate them. I do not like any of these spreads. I don't like any of these totals. I just don't like it. And I don't like it because it's one-game basketball. This is do or die basketball.
Yeah, I haven't looked yet.
Oh, fair play. And hey, that's the beauty about this show. We just start talking about shit and we get live reactions and everything. Brooklyn Nets, obviously the favorite going into this game, should be the favorite going into this game. They have on paper one of the best teams in the NBA. And they've been performing a little bit better, taking some losses a little bit down the stretch that concerned me personally. But I mean, if Kyrie and KD can just keep doing their thing and the bench players can just sustain the lead, I think they're going to have easy walk into the playoffs here. I'm
curious to see what the line is for the field against Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference, because I don't think they make it out of the East.
No,
I don't even think they'll. It's a tough one, but I don't think they'll get past Boston in the first round if they win this game against Cleveland.
Yeah, I would agree.
But I for sure don't think they're going to win the Eastern Conference as a whole. Their defense is just too bad and too spotty. Yet somehow I believe they're the betting favorite to win the East. Playing in a play-in game.
Still are. Yes, they have been and they still are. Now, I will say, doing a little bit of research and everything, they are still at that price right now because the sports books, the way they priced it throughout the year, if Brooklyn does go on a run here and decide to win the whole thing, the books are looking to lose a fuck ton and a half of money. Like if Brooklyn ends up winning this thing because of the way they price them throughout the year. And so the reason they're still the quote unquote betting favorite, at least from everything that I've been able to dig up, has nothing to do with their skill or anything. It has everything to do with the books trying to hedge their bet a little bit so that if they do go on a run and someone does play a bet on them in this play-in tournament, because they are such a good team, they could go on an absolute tear here. They do, and they see that. The books see that, and so they do not want to give them plus money if they can avoid it,
Yeah. That makes sense. However, I do think they're going to beat the Cavs in this game.
Yeah,
especially playing at home.
You're going to light them up.
I kind of like the Cavs plus 8.5 though.
Love the 8.5. Yeah, and but
they're a very young team, but they're good. I mean, the Cavs are a good team this year.
Yeah, no, they were a surprising team this year. My thing is energy. As you said, a young team. They're going to be high pace on defense, high pace on offense. They're going to miss shots on offense due to that high pace and everything. But their defense, I think, is going to be really swarming the Nets and everything, making their lives very hard. 8.5, I wouldn't be surprised to see them covered, but at the same time, would not be surprised to see the Nets blow them out.
I just go back to the fact that, like I said, the Nets just play terrible defense.
Terrible.
And
bad D.
That might change if they get Ben Simmons back they've ruled him out for the play-in tournament, but they said he could be available for first round series, which would be interesting. Obviously, Ben Simmons, he's got his issues, but he's a great defender, always has been. Yeah. So that could help shore up their defense a little bit. But as of now, I mean, their defense, I don't expect to be great. I expect this to be a really high scoring game. And unless something changes for the Nets, it's going to be the same thing that it has been. And it's going to be trying to win by outscoring their opponent and just getting into a gunfight. Like, that's how they've been all season.
And
that's how I expect this to be. So.
No, I agree with you. Luckily, the Nets have the firepower to get into a shootout and win that shootout. That's going to be a hell of a game. I'm going to take, I mean, it's a terrible number. I'm going to take the Nets money line because I feel like that's the only bet that's even remotely okay right now. I was looking at the first quarter lines and stuff like that. I hate those even more than I hate the opening lines. Nets are going to win. I'll take Nets money line, and it's a boring bet, but sometimes you got to be boring. Clippers, Timberwolves is the next game on the docket there. +3. I mean, Minnesota is -3. No, your Timberwolves -3 up there.
What do you mean my
in
Timberwolves?
The North,
I don't give two shits about the Timberwolves. The only thing I care about with the Timberwolves is I want them to lose this game and then win the next one so I can watch the Phoenix Suns play here in Minnesota for games 3 and 4 of that inevitable sweep that'll happen in the first round.
Hey, Suns in 4, bitch. I love it. That would be great.
So yeah, I'll be cheering for the Timberwolves to lose this 7-8 game and then win their next one so that they get the 8 seed and play the Suns, because then I can go watch the Suns. And I can go watch the Suns trounce the Timberwolves and send them home. I mean, they'll already be home, so I guess keep them home.
Keep them home. Let them stay there, not waste another plane ride over. I agree with you. Clippers reportedly getting Paul George back for this one. He might play in this. As from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I heard it was questionable.
Oh, you really think Paul George isn't going to play in a play-in game? And
no, I think he is, but I'm just saying, as a responsible host, I'm just saying what was reported and what I've read. So I'm trying to bring credibility to the fucking show. I know we're degenerates, but just a little credibility here.
The Clippers will be interesting. Just because I mean, Paul George, the couple games that he played down the stretch at the end of the season after coming back from his surgery and that injury, looked absolutely fantastic. I believe we're going to see full swing playoff P. And I think the Clippers are going to be a little bit dangerous. Like, if they win this game and end up playing Memphis, I think they'll be good enough. I think they could take Memphis to 6 or 7 games. I think Memphis wins that series, but they could do that. And if they somehow win that series, big news surrounding Kawhi Leonard is that he has started practicing and training a little bit. And they're saying if the Clippers can make it to the second or third round of the playoffs, they might get Kawhi back. If they get Kawhi back and Paul George is playing the way he's playing, if Reggie Jackson continues playing the way he's played this season, that is a scary Clippers team out of nowhere that's been very mediocre all season, mainly due to injuries. They could really, if they get in and win a first round series and get Kawhi back for the second round, that becomes a very scary Clippers team that you don't want to play in the playoffs.
No, it really, that's a scary team. I'm honestly leaning for the Clippers to take over this one and really dominate. I think the Clippers win this one outright. I'm taking, fuck the 3 points. I'm going to take the money line.
I'm on the same wavelength. I'm going money line on this. Clippers.
Say that again. Clippers money line. There we go.
Yes, sir.
Let's ride, Noah. Then let's go through the next couple games really quickly. On Wednesday, got the surprising. I don't know about surprising, but surprising to me, the Charlotte Hornets going up against the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks being a 4.5 point favorite going into this game. I mean, Trae Young in the playoffs. That's a scary person. That is a scary human
at
being
home
to be playing basketball again. At home. Bro.
I mean, let's keep in mind, this is Trae Young, who he averaged 8 3-point attempts a game this season. Don't be surprised to see him shooting double-digit 3-pointers. And if he's hot and shoots, 8 of 11 from 3, they're blowing out the Hornets.
They're done. And the Hornets, I will say, watching the Hornets this season, their defense does scare me a little bit, especially on the perimeter. And so, I mean, if Trae Young gets those shots, and even if it's contested, but it's lightly contested, he's gonna just rip those threes off. And like you said, he gets hot. I mean, they're get the shovel out because they're gonna bury the fucking Hornets. Honestly, my favorite bet on the game is Trae Young over points. I believe it's at 27.5 right now.
Yeah, he'll have 40.
Easy. He's dropping a 40 burger on this game. That's why it's juiced to 125 when I saw it. But I might try to take an alternate line if I can take it at, maybe try to get him at like 34 or something like that. Just give me a little bit of a cushion under 40. But I mean, I'll take the 4.5 with Atlanta. I think they do quick business with the Hornets. But however, with that being said, I do think if I'm a Hornets fan, I am beyond excited for what this very young and talented team has done this season and what they are gonna do next season. Because shit, they just got, I mean, the games they played and the games they won against the teams they won against, like they played against, they were great wins, and they seasoned the hell out of these young guys. I mean, these young guys walked in as a steak that hasn't even been touched yet, and now it's being handcrafted by a master chef. Like, this Hornets team is going to be scary next year.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd go as far as saying you're going to be scary. I think they'll be a playoff team next year. I don't think it's going to happen this year. I can't see them making it out of the playoff or the play-in. I don't think they can beat first of all, I don't think they're going to beat the Hawks, but if they do beat the Hawks, which I do think is possible, I just like the Hawks a lot better. And if they win that, I don't think they can, I don't think they'll be able to also string together a second win against Cleveland or Brooklyn.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on that. Are you leaning on the Hawks then?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just take the 4.5 on the Hawks.
I like it. Noah, then the last game of the play-in tournament, before we get into the real shit, we're looking at the San Antonio Spurs going up against a New Orleans Pelicans without Zion. And I do want to say, before we get into
these teams are both
Zion
trash.
has been trash. I do want to say, before we talk about this game, Zion has been reported by Shams and Woj, I believe. Maybe not Woj. I know Shams Charania has definitely spoke on this. He is practicing at 5-on-5 in that ramp-up period. We could possibly be seeing Zion appearance in this play-in tournament / this playoff appearance if it does get to that. Noah, the Pelicans right now are the betting favorite going into this game at 5 points. I don't know about this Spurs team. I really don't. I've watched them play. I've watched them lose. I've watched them win. And I just, no matter what I do, I cannot get a grasp on who they are as a team, what they do as a team, or what they're like. I just don't know about this team. What are your thoughts on this game, bro?
I think the Spurs are on the right track. I think they're starting to develop some pieces. They got some young guys. DeJounte Murray's been an absolute stud all year. This game sucks though, because both of these teams suck. I like you got two different arguments for the play-in tournament this year. Because like you look at the Eastern Conference and you got only 10 games separating the number 1 seed and then Charlotte down at 10. Yeah. You look at the Western Conference and now we're stuck with two teams that are, 10 to 12 games below 500. Like, it's like, what's the fucking point here? This is
that's the issue when 75% of your teams make the fucking playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you got a great argument out of the Eastern Conference this year about why we should have the play-in tournament, and you have a great argument out of the Western Conference why we shouldn't, because, here's my proposal. The play-in tournament, you have a different format for however many teams there are. Every team that's over 500 gets a chance to play 500 or better. If you can't reach if you can't win half your games, you don't deserve to have even have a chance at making the playoffs. But like,
No,
even if you had 11 teams in one conference that are 500 or better, then you have somehow, format I don't know, a play-in tournament where you have like, your top 5 or 6 seeds, and then the other 5 or 6 have to play it in. But you have teams that are 10 games under 500, 12 games under 500 in the Spurs case that are still playing. That's just stupid. Like, it's just bad for the brand, in my opinion.
no,
But
it really is. It really is. And
I really don't care what happens in this game. Whoever wins this is just going to end up getting clapped by either the Wolves or the Clippers. So this is pointless. It's just pointless. And if they do somehow, if the winner of this does somehow get past the Clippers or the Timberwolves and are playing the Suns in the first round, that's going to be a sweep. Like, it's going to be like, there's no point to even playing all 4 games of that series. Just cancel the series and give the Suns a bye.
Seriously, hashtag Booker for MVP. He is beyond underrated right now in the conversation. That's another topic for later. Noah, any other thoughts on the NBA play-in or anything like that?
No, I mean, not really. Like I said, I'm excited for some of these games. I think Tuesday's games are going to be exciting.
Oh yeah.
I think the Charlotte and Atlanta game will be exciting. Like I've expressed, do not give a fuck about the Spurs and Pelicans. It's a dog shit game between 2 dog shit teams.
Hey, I appreciate that and I understand that, but damn it, I will watch it because it's playoff basketball. Here we go. As we get into the end of one season, we begin another's. The MLB, Noah, not tipped off, threw their first pitch out this week, last Thursday, that is. Exciting day, exciting weekend of baseball. If you follow it, it's been a hell of a good time to watch. Shout out to my D-backs for winning opening day off of Seth Beer's walk-off home run on National Beer Day, and then proceeding to lose every game after that. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. My team's going to be dog shit this year. I understand that, but I'm just happy as hell to have baseball back.
The Arizona doo-doo backs. Yeah, I can grumble and complain about the Twins, but they're not the D-backs, so I don't really care that much.
Backs, no.
They're at least gonna, the Twins at least should win like, at least 70 games. Unlike, from the Diamondbacks, I'm just like, I'd be like, please don't lose 100.
Season total over under 65.5.
Oh, so they only expect them to lose like 97.
Yeah, it's not bad. Let's less than 100. I'll take it.
Man.
Oh, but MLB is something we're going to be covering, obviously, as we get deeper into it. There's not a lot out on it right now. Betting on it is a fucking nightmare.
Got to let things settle down a little bit.
You got to get some stats and you got to let these pitchers get warmed up. You got to let these batters see some of these pitchers, see some major league curveballs that they probably didn't see in spring training. So yeah, it'll be easier to kind of pick apart once we get deeper into the season. We will keep you posted on that. So go ahead and subscribe to us. If you want to hear us talk Degenerate baseball, because we fucking will. Don't even challenge us. We will. We'll do it. With that being said, Noah, as we wrap up here, we thought we were going a couple more months without football, but sure enough, this Friday, the USFL kicks off with an epic matchup, I believe, against Alabama and DC. USFP. No, I looked up USFP. That's in case you're wondering, that is the United States Federal Patent Office.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was really wondering what they're doing lately.
Hey, they're up to some shit, Noah. They're doing it. They are doing it. Yes, it's going to be the Generals and the Stallions kicking off this Friday. They'll have games Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The New Jersey Generals, against the Birmingham Stallions at Birmingham. I bet you they're playing in Alabama Stadium. They're probably going to sell out. maybe the first 2 rows. But hey, it's a new league. It's a new exciting thing. I'm stoked for it, bro. I've already picked my team. Do you got a team yet?
Yeah, after very short and brief research, I decided I think I'm going to ride with the Tampa Bay Bandits.
Tampa Bay Bandits. All right.
I like their quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going with a team completely based off name. I'm going with the Houston Gamblers. Let's get as degenerate as possible. The mascot has a cowboy hat with an ace in it, and I love it. Let's go ahead, Gamblers. And it's going to be, I'm excited to get this going.
You are aware their head coach is Kevin Sumlin, though, right?
Fuck, really? Is it really Kevin Sumlin?
Yeah, I just
how the fuck get a job?
Yeah, because it's the USFL.
Oh, is it really Kevin?
Yeah.
Well, follow us on Twitter at DGenTakes to follow if I'm still a Gamblers fan after that news break. I do have some breaking news though, Noah. Per sources, I can say that now. Sportsbooks are going to allow USFL gambling. They are uncertain if they are going to have the first. As of right now, from what I'm hearing, they will not have the first 2 weeks available. However, they are looking at possibly a week 3, week 4 rollout for USFL lines. They just need to, the sports books, just like the gamblers, need to be able to get a feel for the teams and kind of see.
I was going to say, if they had week 1 lines, I would probably just put a unit on every single underdog.
Yeah, line. No, 100%. And this is not unfamiliar. They've done this before with the XFL, where they waited about 2-3 weeks and then started putting out lines for XFL games and stuff like that before COVID hit. So watch for that to be the same guide essentially to be followed. They'll get a pretty quick grasp, and their equipment they have and everything, they fucking know. They know what's good before anyone knows what's good. It's unbelievable, bro. But dude, did we just do our first breaking news on this show?
I don't know. Is that considered breaking news?
I don't know if anyone else is talking about it. I mean,
yeah, maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
Breaking news. First time on this show. I'm going to clip that and put it out there. That'll be lit. But Noah, any thoughts about anything before we wrap up this episode of Degenerate Takes and go into this epic week?
Yeah, I mean, 18 days till the end of the NHL season.
Oh yeah,
a lot of games going to be crammed in there. My Wild play 11 games over 17 days to end the season. It's gonna be a rough little stretch, but
yeah,
after that we will, at the beginning of May, have NHL playoffs going on.
Hell yes.
NBA playoffs will be going on. MLB baseball will be going on. USFL. There's gonna be a lot. Things are heating up.
The MLB will be in full swing. I mean, we're going to be starting. I mean, the draft is in 17 days for the NFL. We're going to be covering that bullshit. Noah, I swear to God, every day I wake up and I think, you know what? I think this week I can take a little bit of a break, take a breather. And then, God, I see everything that we have to talk about and everything we have to do. And I just get more and more excited, bro. We are about to have an epic couple months, along with some big announcements that will be coming out of this show in the next couple of weeks. Noah, it's going to be epic.
Hell yeah.
Well, with that being said, Noah, I think it's about that time that we say, have a great rest of your day. Bet on MLB.